Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Well, Vignan's University welcomes you all.
First, I would like to request our President, Faculty Forum, Professor Krishna Kishore Garu, to please occupy his chair. With the previous chairpersons, several events were organized, and today we have planned to have this 3-day workshop on midlife transition. So the objective of having this program is to understand. I won't say it will completely equip us into self-management, but to get some insights into how, when we are crossing, say, the middle life, 35 plus, what are the broad metabolic changes that happen, what are the psychosomatic or disorders that can happen when because as we grow, we handle more responsibilities, and when we do multitasking at workplace, at the house, there is a lot of constraint on the time. With limited time and more responsibility, how do we handle it?
Fun, life includes sadness, life includes disappointment, life includes everything. If we accept that path, okay, we'll be happy with the life. Only every time our problem is we should be happy, why we are not happy, we should be achiever, why we are not achiever, why we should be this way, why it is not. Somebody should do like this as we think. So why they are not doing it? So this is the problem. These are the problem sources of the problems, and we struggle for that. Sometimes we don't get the solutions also. First thing we have to accept, it is the mixture, a beautiful mixture of all these things. Then life would be beautiful, really beautiful. Sometimes we'll be happy, sometimes we'll be achiever, sometimes we'll be disappointed, sometimes we'll be sad, sometimes we'll be pity to ourselves. So all these things, that is the basic thing we have to accept. Then is it worth fighting for the only happiness all through, only achievement all through, only good things all through? No, it's not. Bad things also should be there in the life, I believe. Yes. That is all the essence of Krishna's Bhagavad Gita. It is there, everything is there. All the kinds of people are there. All the kinds of characters are there. All the kinds of elements are there in the life. That is the beauty of the life. If we accept it, I don't think we don't struggle much. But okay, because God has given a lot of energy, God has given some intelligence, we do whatever, that's my perception, whatever the opportunities we are having. But yeah, we try for something, fine, we get it happy. Even if you don't get it, also should be able to smile. That is the because in the reality, yes, real life includes the disappointment. If it is that, I think it will address all the stress problems, all the other elements, all the problems from others. That's it. I hope and I wish these experts will give the real valuable inputs to cope up with the stress, cope up with the family life, cope up with the professional life, everywhere. Even if you travel 10 kilometers, you have to undergo all these processes. It's not either family or the profession. If you travel 10 kilometers in the bus, you have to undergo all these processes.
Midlife is the afternoon of one's life. It is at this point where counseling, understanding and acceptance is needed. The main outcome of this 3-day workshop is to wipe away all doubts, clear all the blocks and prepare you for the next stage of holistic development. We have Sister Crystal, who did her PhD in midlife transition. All can make use of the resource person, interact and have good sessions. On behalf of Faculty Forum, I welcome Madam
to organize this 3-day program. Midlife transition. At times we feel we need programs like these to remind us that we are in need of some kind of extra counseling in terms of
say, our health and everything is in our hands. If you have determination, willpower, we can control everything. Please remember that. I think they will substantiate that statement with their lectures. Okay? So all the best. I once again thank the resource persons for coming here.
It's a pleasure to welcome the resource persons and the people who are sitting here. And definitely the interaction is going to be very, very enrich the entire faculty here.
Something has to be special in our workshop, means away from the routine. So some special thing about these three resource persons is they are three consecrated people for the cause of the human wellness. I request you all to give a big round of applause for all the three persons. Our daughter, Sister Crystal, was born in Kerala. She belongs to the congregation of the Sisters of the Destitute in Kerala. She is now based in Delhi. She is a nurse by profession. She studied and worked the congregation of the Sisters of the Destitute. Sisters of the Destitute is the first organized institution in Kerala to work for the destitute and abandoned ladies and old women and old men in Kerala.
All of us are born as babies, and our life as a baby ceased to exist when we became children, and our life as children ceased to exist when we became teenagers, and that also ceased to exist when we became adult. Now my question is, did it cease to exist? Our childhood, baby life, teenage, did it cease? No, it did not cease, but it is evolving, it is developing, it is becoming different. It never ceases, it goes on till the last breath of our life. We are the same person, but different persons. And therefore, I would say that life is a process of becoming. We are never a finished product. We are never finished product. We are becoming. We are in a process of becoming. Carl Rogers says, life is a process of becoming. We are becoming. What are we becoming? What are we becoming? It is not enough to become something or someone, but we must become what God wants us to be. God has created us with a particular purpose, and we are supposed to become that person. And we know, as we have reached this age of 35 or 40 or whatever it is, some changes has taken place in our life. But still there is room for growth. And where is that room? Externally, our capacities are diminishing. Our beauty, strength, our capacity, psychological, physical, physiological is diminishing, but still there is room for growth. And where is that room? Yeah, development and intellectual development is there, but now the growth is inward growth. Within, there is enough room for growth, inward growth. For example, when we look at oak tree, the more aged it is, the years, more years it passes, more expensive it becomes, more strong it becomes. The skin becomes thinner, and the inside becomes strong and stronger. The young trees are not very costly, but the old trees are very strong. Where is that strength? Inside is the strength. So therefore, we have still more room to grow, but this growth is to take place inward, inside. There we find ourselves within ourselves. That is it. And therefore, what I would like to say is, it is to enter into the divine horizon and to become what God wants us to become. And therefore, the growing fullness of life, of self-fulfillment, that is everybody's right and privilege. Everybody is privileged. And we must grow into the fullness of life. We should not get tired in the middle of life. But now we are at the climax of all our faculties. Physically, physiologically, intellectually, spiritually, morally, we know what life is, and we are at the climax of our faculties. But still we see that something is happening and some dissatisfaction is creeping into our life. When we are all alone and some sediments are there in our life, sometimes when I ask the sisters, they say, hey, no, we are happy. But when sometimes, and then I ask, when we look at water, the water is very clear. But if the water is kept for 1 or 2 days, there is some sediments, at least in our place where it is. And what sediments are coming down in your life? Sediments of joy or sediments of some dissatisfaction? If it is some dissatisfaction, there is hope. If we are experiencing some dissatisfaction, there is still hope for satisfaction and joy. That is what I would like to say. Therefore, at this age, what we must develop is a sense of self-transcendence. We must learn to transcend ourself, our inner self, our soul beyond our physical and physiological level. We must go beyond and get connected. All of us have connectedness with the absolute God. But when we reach the midlife, this need is more alive and more sensed. When we are youngsters, young adulthood, our concerns are different. But when we reach this age, some other concerns are coming up. That is a very positive sign. Therefore, Carl Jung says, when we reach adulthood, then some specific changes are taking place in adult psyche. In child's psyche, it is not taking place, but in adult psyche, something special, some differences, some changes are taking place, he says. Therefore, he says, problems begin to come up when one is in adulthood. Carl Jung says, when we are children, also we have problem. I did not get that colorful skirt, I did not get the first rank, I did not get the sari which I wanted. These are children's problem. But these are not our problem. Our problems are within, something beyond these kind of small problems. So therefore he says problems begin to come up when one is in adulthood. When healthy adulthood does not mean absence of problems and challenges. Oh, I have no problems, I have no challenges, so my adulthood, my life is healthy. I cannot say. Healthy adulthood does not mean absence of problems and challenges, but it is the ability to respond to it in a meaningful way. Challenges and problems will come up every day, but a healthy adult should be capable of addressing this problem in a meaningful way, not in somewhat, but in a meaningful, suitable way, suitable for an young adult person. So then we can say that person is a healthy adult. Therefore, healthy adulthood does not mean absence of problems and challenges, but the ability to respond to it in a meaningful way, so that each time we respond to it, we may grow. So each time, our natural tendency is to react. When something happens in my life, in my office, in my convent, in my family, wherever we are, when something happens that I do not like, my first tendency is to react. Reaction is possible even for animals, but a human being is supposed to respond, to stand on the commitment, sense of commitment, and give response to this particular challenge and problem. So therefore, a mature adult means the ultimate criteria of maturity. Therefore, or to be a mature adult does not mean to have good, well-rounded personality. No, it's not the criteria of mature adulthood or maturity, the criteria is the ability to be a loving and generative person. To be a loving and generative person. Later I will explain what does it mean to be a generative person, loving person. All of us know. I can said to be a mature person if I am able to be a loving person at the same time a generative person. In one word, the meaning of generative person is a person who allows or helps a younger generation to grow up. That is a generative person. A generative person helps the coming generation to enter into adulthood life. So such persons are mature adulthood. So therefore, our adulthood, that is a gift. That is we, and at the same time automatically it does not take place. So we have the responsibility to become a mature person. So therefore, when we as we reach the age of 35, usually we say around 40. We see that some changes are taking place in our thinking pattern, in our attitude, in our way of finding meaning, a kind of emptiness we feel, a lack of meaning. Is it true for you also? Sometimes. Everybody. Especially those who think at least a little, feel this inside. So I have prepared a questionnaire. And to just fill up. Says something about our own life, isn't it? Does it? So first of all, let us say what is a human being. Who is a human being? What is a human being? A human being can live on 3 levels. You may be knowing, I must repeat it. First of all, the psychophysiological level. Why we are calling it psychophysiological level? Because when something happens on our psychology, our physical or physiological level, it naturally affects our psychological level. For example, physiologically I feel, all of us are feeling thirsty for tea, and it is not a happy, joyful feeling. So we feel tired, we feel little, finished like that. So that means our physical and physiological changes affects our psychological level. Therefore it is called psychophysiological level. And a human being can also build up his or her identity on this level. For example, for a child it does not have a great sense of identity. For a child, the most important thing is its physical and physiological level. It has when it is hungry, it cries, and when it is satisfied, it is happy, and it must eat and sleeps, that's all. And there is some other party also who shares this psychophysiological level. Who are they? Animals. Animals also, when they have filled their stomach, they are happy, and then and if we are going to play with them, and if they are hungry, we will get nicely back, and otherwise they are happy. So in the same way, when we are physically fit and then we are happy, that does not mean that we are different from child or animal. We have a different level. So for example, A person who is concentrated on psychophysiological level, that person's point of reference and also point of reference of his or her own identity will be the fact that he or she is a young person, beautiful, handsome and strong, young, lacking nothing. And it gives him or her a sense of identity, appreciation, self-appreciation, self-esteem, everything. And that is okay, well and good. For a child, it is natural for a child. And when our childhood gets over, it does not disappear from us. We have the tendency to continue this kind of sense of identity, and even when we are at 40, we feel that we want to be young and beautiful, strong and energetic, but it is not possible. And those who have built up a sense of identity on this level, okay, I am saying again and again, when we are a young adult, it is okay, it is good, and it is very natural. Okay, but when we reach into midlife, this physical and physiological level will change, and then that will affect our psychological level also, and that is one level. And such people, those who have the sense of identity on this first level, they will be very much worried about when they get sick, when they see some wrinkles on their face, and when they cannot tolerate, they will be very much upset. And the second level is the psychosocial level. Psychosocial level means our social status. Our social status, our talents, gifts, our capabilities. I am a good teacher, I am a good nurse, I am capable of singing, dancing, and nobody can compete with me. I will be always on the first level, and it gives me a sense of identity. It's okay, well and good, God has given me, I can enjoy it. But it is also enjoyable up to, when we enter into midlife, again this capacity also diminishes. This also diminishes. And those who define themselves by referring to one's own gifts and talents, and then when they become midlifers, and these talents and these gifts and talents, these capabilities diminish, and their sense of identity also shakes. That is what can happen. And for such people, they cannot take up anything what cannot guarantee them success. If I am a good singer, if I don't feel guaranteed that I will sing nicely, if I see someone who may sing better than me, I may better stay back. Because my desire is I must be always the first in the group. So I cannot tolerate if somebody else becomes the first. That is for children it is okay. So for children it is natural, all of us know. But even among us, even if we are adult and in midlife, we have this kind of tendency persisting, remaining. Okay. And this is also, as I said, when the first and second level, it's okay. But there is a third level. That is our spiritual, rational level. A human being, only a human being can have this third level. An animal does not have. For a child, it is not developed. But for us, all of us has the spiritual, rational level. Why? Because all of us are created, man or woman, young or old, all of us are created by God and in the image and likeness of God. God has created us and He is within us. God is within us, in each one of us. Therefore, all of us, no animal has got it, but every human being has got this third level, the spiritual, rational level, the level of our being, our existential level that makes me myself, the level of myself. And when we reach to the midlife, this level becomes more awakened. this level becomes more aware, it becomes more alive, and that the first and the second level gradually goes by. They subside, and this level, this third level becomes more active and strong.